No one ever forgets their favorite concert. For me, it's Chris Stapleton. I remember the feeling of standing in the crowd with hundreds of people singing every word to every song. Those are memories I will never forget. It takes hundreds of people behind the scenes at every single concert throughout the entire country to create memories like this for you and me every single night. The live music and events industry employs over 10 million people per year. And in March of 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, millions of people lost their jobs, livelihoods, and the ability to support themselves and their families. And now they need our help.
My favorite moment is when the lights go down, the crowd freaks out, the band walks on stage, and they hit that first note, and everything's working. It's terrifying and awesome at the same time.
Your story, while it's yours, represents so many people within the music industry. How did you get into music?
High school bands, you know?
Right.
Just wanted to be in a rock band. And I've always been really passionate about guitars. It's like, I'm obsessed, I can't stop. And I thought, well, maybe there's a job here. I finally decided to bite the bullet and go to Lutheran school, learn about guitars, learn how to make them, repair them. And then a buddy of mine was like, hey, we're going on the road. Do you want to come with us and be our guitar tech? I had never done it before. You know, it was van and trailer, just like most people, long days.
Like most new artists do at the beginning of their career, you're in a trailer or a Sprinter van.
That's right.
Going all over the country with your band and crew.
You're not getting paid very much every day, so you got to keep your expenses as minimal as possible. But you get out there, you do it, and eventually your name, if you do good work, your name gets around. People will start hiring you, and then you just start moving up. I mean, it is a passion project for sure. I mean, you have to love this job in order to do it. You're not going to get rich on doing this job. You just have to love it.
Well, and the last tour that you were on was an arena tour.
That's right.
And it takes 440 people behind the scenes doing their specific jobs, which are critical to the artist being able to get on stage every night and the fans to have an incredible experience. So what were those days like for you?
You're building a little city every day. You know what I mean? And it starts really early in the morning, and you build everything. You build the stage, you build the sound system, you load all the gear on stage, and then you tear it all down and move it back to the trucks and do it the next day. So, there's a really long days. And on an arena tour, if you have that position, most likely you've worked a long time to get to that point.
So around March 15th, 2020, live events as we know it completely comes to a screeching halt. And we haven't been back to work since.
That's right.
So where were you at that time?
We were in Virginia Beach, and we had a day off, and we got a text saying, I think we're gonna have to cancel Canada because of this virus that's happening. And we're like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then within 24 hours, we were all on a bus going home. It was that fast.
For the next couple of months, you're on salary. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that artists make most of their money in touring. It's how they provide for their livelihoods and the livelihoods of their band and crew. And so when they're not working, when they're not touring, that's a huge loss of income.
Absolutely.
And at some point, when there's no shows whatsoever, at times they have to make the difficult decision to let people go. What was that like for you?
It was hard. It was hard. I understood the decision, and it's a decision a lot of artists had to make, and I'm sure it was really, really difficult because, we're a family on the road.
So you're laid off in June of 2020. What were the next couple of weeks and months like for you?
They were stressful, for sure. We were a one-income family. And it worked out. My son has some special needs, so my wife was taking care of him, and I was on the road. But then when I lost my job, all of our income just sort of disappeared, overnight.
And everything that you've worked for, too.
That's right. Luckily, my wife was able to find a job, and that could keep us afloat while I negotiated unemployment and sort of became his primary caregiver at home. He is awesome. He is the happiest kid I've ever seen. He is very mechanical. He's very into projects that he creates for himself. He's gonna be something special for sure.
You've really done everything that you can to figure out how to make ends meet, and you've built a guitar shop in your backyard.
I did. Yeah, I mean, it's always something that I've done sort of on the side because, you know, when I'm work with artists, you know, they have ideas, things they want to change, things they want to build.
Have you been able to find some work repairing guitars?
Yeah,
since you built the shop?
Yeah, word of mouth has definitely helped. That's been really invaluable, for sure.
How did you find out about the ACM Lifting Lives COVID-19 fund?
My stage manager, he texted me and was like, I don't know if you've heard about this, but you should probably try.
Yeah.
And at that point, it had been so long and I had applied for so many things, I was just like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you almost lose hope at some point.
You do. But it's my job to try and do everything I can.
How helpful was it for you and your family at that point?
I mean, it paid our mortgage that month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I did not have the money for, so it's pretty big.
So at this point, ACM Lifting Lives COVID-19 Response Fund has given away $3.5 million to people within our industry who need it. But right now, because the need is so great, that fund has been depleted and is frozen until they can raise more money. And there's so many people right now that are on a waiting list waiting for help. So to either fans or people outside of the music industry that are watching this and thinking about giving, what would you say to them?
If you want that feeling, you know, at the concert again, this has to happen. You have to keep these people going.
Patrick's story represents so many people behind the scenes in live music that are instrumental in bringing concerts to life for the artists and fans. Every dollar you give to ACM Lifting Lives COVID-19 Response Fund goes directly to someone who needs it, whether you can give $1, $10, or $100. Your donation makes a difference. To give, go to acmliftinglives.org. And if you're in the country music industry and you need help, go to acmliftinglives.org to apply for assistance.